we often hear that people today cannot focus for very long. In 2015, Microsoft said the average attention span dropped from about 12 seconds for millennials to only 8 seconds for General Z. At the same time, football introduced an 8 seconds rule. A goalkeeper cannot hold the ball for more than 8 seconds, or the other team gets a corner kick. The goal of this rule is to stop time wasting. Maybe 8 seconds is also how long fans can watch when nothing happens. But how does attention really work? And can we improve it? Attention is very important. We all know the feeling of getting distracted in the middle of a conversation and suddenly forgetting what we were saying. But many people forget that there are different types of attention. Not all of them are getting weaker. The football rule is about a type called visual scanning. For a goalkeeper, this means scanning the field to see who to pass the ball to. One study of Premier League players found that scanning for around 10 seconds gave a small but positive advantage. Other research showed that the best players scan more often, unless an opponent is very close. Scanning is a type of attention that helps players use short opportunities. They must decide quickly where to pass or where to run. This is called hot cognition, a fast, emotional way of thinking, almost like gut instinct. It is very different from the cold or rational thinking players and coaches use when watching videos and making plans. Cold cognition usually uses sustained attention, which means focusing for a long period of time. There are also other types, like divided attention when you focus on two things at once, or alternating attention when you switch back and forth between tasks. Different brain networks are active for different types of attention. Hot decisions use the ventromedial and orbitofrontal cortex, which control emotions and decisions. Cold decisions use the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which helps with memory, control, and planning. We also make hot, fast decisions when meeting people for the first time. This is where first impressions come from. The dorsomedial prefrontal cortex is very important for this. At first, we may judge someone's looks or personality quickly. Later, with more knowledge, we may change our impression. In Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet disliked each other at first. But later, as they learned more, their impressions became positive. Research shows positive first impressions are powerful. Sometimes, very accurate ones can even lead to love at first sight. So there is not just one brain area for attention. You can get better at one type of attention and worse at another. For example, Gen Z spends the most time on screens, around 2.5 hours a day on social media. That still requires some sustained attention. The 8 seconds is more about scanning, looking quickly for something interesting. But young people also listen to podcasts and audiobooks for hours, showing they can focus if the content is motivating. Many parents of kids with ADHD ask, why can my child play video games for hours but not study? The answer is motivation. When we enjoy something, time passes quickly and it is easy to stay focused. This also shows how we can improve attention. We need to make tasks more fun or motivating. But sustained attention also seems to be decreasing. Some psychologists say lectures should be shorter. However, a study of medical students found the best memory was for information given between 15 and 30 minutes. Surprisingly, the first 15 minutes had the worst memory. Where students sat also made a difference. Those at the front remembered 80%. In the middle, about 72%. At the back, only 68%. But this may also show motivation. Students who sit in front are usually more interested. Researcher Neil Bradbury said motivation, teacher enthusiasm, and good quality content are the keys to holding attention. Maybe letting students switch between listening, watching, and writing also helps. When planning lessons, teachers should not only think logically, but also imagine what excites the students. So, attention is not disappearing. It just depends on the type of task and how motivated we are.
That's the end of today's news. I will keep sharing overseas news and articles in simple English, so please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.